So here we have the man of the moment and the figure everyone's gushing about, Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. And I think he's a very impressive looking figure. Probably of all the figures I've ever seen, this bot mode does look fantastic. There are a few issues and we'll get to those later, but on the whole he is great. Okay, so we'll start off with a look at the face. And I think you will agree, he looks absolutely smashing, and I love the way that inside this head there is a visor, which will come out and just flips out and goes down. And there you go, a wonderful pair of 1980s blue shades. Anyway, let's put those away and crack on with the review. So here we can see Hot Rod from the front, he looks very nice. Here he is from the side, minimum backpack. Here he is from the rear, looks very good, apart from that bum area. Here he is from the top, and everyone's favourite, underneath. The paint apps do look very good, the orange has come out very well, the silver looks very nice. A little bit worried that this silver on the head might fade or rub off quite easily over time, and otherwise the paint apps do generally seem well applied. Especially this logo here, and the flames on the chest there. The sculpted detail is fantastic, we cannot complain a bit about that. The face, obviously, amazing. The neck detail is incredible. I love these arms, I love these hands, I love this waist area, and I really like the detail on his feet and legs down here. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. The back is not quite as good as the front, but who displays their figures from the back? From the front there are no hollow areas or those weird looking holes. Like I said, the only holes I can think of is just the top of the knees, top of the calves here, the siege ports, the weapon ports, and the back of the figure there. Now the joints and articulation on this guy are fantastic. The head moves forwards and backwards and all the way around, if you can see that there. The arms move all the way around, although the spoiler will foul. The arms will move up at the shoulder, and also there's a little bit of butterfly movement, but not a lot. They will twist at the elbow and also move up and down. And the hands will also twist at the wrist. The waist will perform a full 360. I wouldn't recommend trying this yourself on your own body. The legs kick over forward and not quite all the way back. The knees are double jointed and will sit back like so, and will even over kick forward like so. They also rotate here at the top of the thigh, which is a very stiff joint, which I don't really like using. Feels like something might break. The ankles will rock, and also the feet will move forwards and back. So that's a lovely amount of articulation for posability there. Now, size comparison wise, here he is himself, and here he is with Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper does look very small indeed there next to Hot Rod, and also a lot more basic looking and blocky. Hot Rod definitely looks a lot more like his movie version. Now, there's a few issues I have in robot mode. One, that this joint on his leg does not like to stay clipped together, it likes to keep pinging open, as you can see there. Not a fan of that. Also, I find these bits on the back of the arm a little too loose. I feel like they should slot into those ports a little more, but they are minor nitpicks, really. Also, I've broken one of the tabs off, or it came broken, not quite sure. You can see that tab there, which is very small, is actually missing off this side, which prevents the robot transforming perfectly, and the joints won't be so great. So I've got on to my retailer about that for a replacement, but keep an eye on that little tab yourselves. Now, Hot Rod comes with a plethora of accessories. He has a blast effect, A couple of more smaller blast effects. His 2 weapons, which will plug into his hands nicely. His pizza cutter saw. And of course the Matrix, and we'll see him using those accessories in my showcase section of the video. So in robot mode, I think Hot Rod is one of the best looking Transformers I've seen in a long time, and that is saying something. Anyway, let's have a look at his alt mode now. Okay, so Hot Rod in his alternate mode of a Cybertronian sports car of sorts. Here we have a lovely 3/4 view. Here he is from the top, the front, the side, the worst view, the back, and I know you guys like to see underneath. Now the paint apps on mine are pretty good. This front section here appears to be painted orange. I don't have a lot of fade on my paint anywhere, and they've done a pretty good job of painting within the lines. There's some other paint apps here which look quite nice. I do like this orange, and this magenta-y red here I believe is also painted over the blue clear plastic. I think the reason they got the magenta is they didn't prime with the correct colour. They've just sprayed this red over the blue, giving it a purpley hue from underneath. That would be my professional artistic take on things anyway. The spoiler is yellow plastic. These chromed areas are quite nice, however, there's my breakage there, which we don't want to talk about. And the Autobot symbol, the Autobot I should say, the Autobot symbol is quite nicely done, along with these lights here on the front. Now sadly they've made this bit in yellow plastic. If it was red, it would have been amazing. God knows why they went with yellow for that, because it really stands out. And on the box art, it's actually red. So I guess originally it was going to be red, and someone decided to save a couple of quid and do it in yellow, which is a shame, but not a deal breaker. Some guys, I guess, may decide to paint that red, but that won't be me. The sculpted details are very, very nice. I actually like the entire shape of the car. I think it's fantastic. The engine detail is very nice. The sculpted detail for the lights is very nice. The exhausts and pipes are very nice. The spoiler, very nice. And the wheels are a little bit bland. And they are also that weird plastic. Can we please go back to rubber tyres? It's so much better than plastic wheels. Anyway, the entire car mode is very solid. However, we do have a few gappage issues. These sections here seem to lift a bit and don't sit entirely flush with the window. There's a fair few gaps along here, which I don't know if you can see. These headlights do not sit flush. Gaps again this side. However, if we didn't have to worry about the gaps, this would be 10 out of 10 for me. However, the gaps and the yellow and the easily broken bit there really knock this figure back a bit, I believe. But that's just my opinion. He does roll. Not great, but he does roll. It's probably to do with all the gaps. If he sat more flush, it would probably be a much better roll. There are no other moving parts, but there are areas to store your weapons and accessories, which you'll see in my showcase video. Sadly, the only bad area of the car is the rear, where his feet are hanging out. But who really is going to be paying a lot of attention to the rear?